Am I the a-hole for being upset and leaving when my sister-in-law stole my pregnancy announcement? I, 36 female, found out that I am pregnant. I am overjoyed as I have always wanted a child of my own. I focused on my career and my life, and since I'm single, I wasn't sure if having a baby would ever happen. I was excited to tell my family the big news. My older sister has one child, my nephew, 7 male. My brother is married, but he and his wife have made it very clear they will always be child-free. Last night we had a family dinner, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to share the news. And since this will be my only child, I wanted to make it special, and I also wanted to involve my nephew. I got a shirt that read, "This is what an awesome big cousin looks like." I slept away with my nephew before dinner and had a special moment with him while I told him he was going to have a cousin. My nephew was very excited and put on the shirt. He put a sweater on over it, and I told him he could take the sweater off whenever he wanted at dinner. In the middle of dinner, he took off the sweater and waited for someone to notice. Soon my sister jumped up and excitedly screamed when she saw the shirt. They all then immediately assumed it was my sister-in-law. I wasn't hurt by them assuming this, and I kind of expected it because she is married. I was hurt because my sister-in-law didn't try to correct them. She just went along with it and began to rub her flat belly while laughing. I must have looked completely hurt because my mother yelled at me to stop being rude and to congratulate them. I tried to explain that I was the one who gave my nephew the shirt. They all didn't even hear me and just continued to fawn over my sister-in-law. My brother stood frozen in shock, just asking his wife if she was serious. I got up and went home. I received multiple texts at this point from them telling me what an a-hole I am for making this about me. They said things like it wasn't my sister-in-law's fault that I was jealous. I didn't reply to anything and just cried myself to sleep. This morning, my sister-in-law must have finally let it slip that she is not pregnant. And they have now all called me to apologize, saying that they just got caught up in the moment. They said I shouldn't have left the dinner, and that it's my fault I wasn't clear enough that I was the one who was pregnant. My mom said I could have a redo dinner so I could get it right and they will all act surprised. My sister-in-law sent me a message that said that the way I chose to announce was how she wanted to do it if she ever got pregnant. She said that since she's not ever having a child, that she just wanted to experience what the moment would be like. She also said I can have my chance at the redo dinner. I told them no, and that I will not be doing a redo. Every single person has now told me I'm being selfish and a a-hole because I won't let them make it right. To me, there's no fixing this. I will eventually forgive them, but I don't want to do a second announcement so they feel better. Am I the a-hole? Now for some comments before reading the updates. If I'd ever do a redo, I would only do it with the rule that sister-in-law is not invited and isn't present, since she took something unique and very personal in a cruel way without showing any remorse. But I wouldn't do a redo myself anyway, since they ruined it entirely, and doing it again would just feel so ridiculous and fake. And this is not something I could forgive and forget overnight. I'd not talk to her again until she does something really big as an honest apology, and even then I wouldn't forgive that witch. I'm actually so mad for you. Not at a-hole. Your sister-in-law is trash for doing that to you, and to then try to justify it. That's just so hateful. I'm sorry, and congratulations. You can't redo an announcement. You can't put the cat back in the bag. The best they can do is apologize and stop blaming you for their poor behavior, sister-in-law included. First update 4 months later. I've had many people messaging me asking for an update, so I thought posting one here seemed like a fitting place. It has been 4 months since my last post and it has been a wild ride. I'm now almost 7 months pregnant and expecting a baby girl. After everything happened, I tried going low contact with my family. I didn't want to deal with their drama and chose to instead focus on my pregnancy. That didn't last long because my brother showed up at my door a few days after the dinner with his suitcase. He needed some time to work things out, and I was happy to give him a place to stay while he did. My sister-in-law and other family members began calling both of us non-stop during this time. They were begging my brother to talk to his wife. Eventually, she convinced him that it was all a joke that just went horribly wrong. I knew this was total BS and that she was lying. My brother seemed so lost and broken without her, though. He went back home after staying with me for only a short time. Before I left, I talked to him about everything and told him all my concerns. He said that he loves his wife, and this was all just a misunderstanding. He told me I was cruel for holding a joke gone wrong against her, and that we both need to get over it. I couldn't force him to listen to reason, so I just let him go. After he left, I went back on low contact with most of my family and have been much happier since. I realized after reading the comments on my previous post exactly how toxic my family is. I decided to focus on the people in my life that were truly there to support me and my baby. While my parents keep trying to contact me, it has become less frequent lately. Yesterday, I received news that many of you had predicted. My sister-in-law is now pregnant. I found out when I received an invitation to her upcoming gender reveal Zoom party in my email. I haven't responded yet, and I haven't heard any news from any family other than the invitation. I'm torn between laughing hysterically and crying for my brother. I truly don't know what to think. Don't pet the dog that bit you. I'm conflicted. I do love my family, but I don't love the way they act. People who love you back don't tease, taunt, humiliate, or mistreat you. I think you love the idea of your family and not the reality. Because what could you love about the way they've chosen to treat you? This wasn't one word, one mistake, or even one bad day. This is a pattern of behavior that has probably extended since long before your pregnancy. You deserve better, and so does your precious child. It is so sad how many people think that having a baby will fix their marital problems. Newsflash, it won't. I pity your brother and I pity that unborn child. I recently read how these kind of jokes, although your sister-in-law truly went beyond the pale, are Schrodinger's jokes. If you get hurt/insulted, it is just a joke. But if you don't react, they were telling the truth/how it is the whole time. If you still want a relationship with your brother, you can text/email him that your door will always be open for him. But otherwise, I would not even respond to the invite. Or if he gets badgered, say you can't make it. No explanations or excuses, just sorry no. Second update 1 month later. My brother and sister-in-law's gender reveal Zoom party took place today. For the last few weeks, I had been debating on if I should attend or not. I had been doing well with being no contact with most of my family, but I couldn't seem to let go of the feeling that I was being selfish and not supportive of my brother. So I decided to reach out and talk. I think I decided this mainly out of curiosity, but also loneliness. It's hard being pregnant, alone, and stuck in lockdown. I reached out to them online, and my brother and his wife are definitely pregnant. They started to try shortly after he returned home from staying with me. My sister-in-law told me that my brother changed his mind about having children after a long talk they had about their future. I personally think there is more to this story, but I don't have all the details on this yet. They did tell me that they were sorry about what happened with my pregnancy announcement. My brother asked me if we would all just move forward and if I would come to their gender reveal. I agreed and decided to let it go. I also started to speak with my parents again. My parents did not apologize for their part in what happened at my pregnancy announcement. They did not even really acknowledge that anything had happened at all between us at all. They don't ask me much about my pregnancy or my baby. They have only been interested enough to ask 2 questions. They ask what my child's last name will be since I'm a single mother, and what the gender is. I told them I will not be sharing the gender of my baby until the birth. Today was the gender reveal Zoom party. We were instructed to wear blue or pink depending on what we thought the gender would be. I chose to wear pink, since the only dress I own that fits me right now happens to be pink. As all the attendees logged on to the Zoom call, everything seemed to be going rather well. My parents were in head-to-toe blue, and said it was because they are excited that my brother is finally carrying on the family name. My sister-in-law and brother were dressed opposite in all pink. Everyone seemed happy and ready to celebrate. My sister-in-law had chosen to pop a large balloon filled with confetti that will reveal the gender. She popped the balloon, and out came a cloud of blue confetti. My parents began to cry and cheer at the announcement, and my brother and everyone else were smiling and clapping. My sister-in-law, on the other hand, was not. The next few moments were filled with all of the guests say their congratulations. My sister-in-law stayed perfectly silent throughout all of it. She seemed somewhat emotionless, until I piped up to say my congratulations. I had said to them both, "Congratulations on your little boy. His cousin can't wait to meet him." My sister-in-law went insane. She began screaming that I was trying to steal the spotlight away from her by mentioning my baby. She said that I was being jealous and petty over my birth announcement disaster. She then asked me, "What are you freaking having anyway?" She demanded to know the gender of my baby and began asking if it's a girl. She then said that I must be having a girl since I'm wearing a pink dress. My parents and other family members did little to stop my sister-in-law's meltdown. I chose not to fight with her or to try to reason with her. I just exited the call and let it go. I don't know what my sister-in-law's problem is or why she's behaving this way, but I don't care, and I'm not going to let things like this bother me anymore. It was a bad idea to break no contact. Now for some top comments before reading more updates. She wanted a girl, but she's having a boy, and she used you to release her anger. If you have a girl, she will act terribly about it. I am having a girl. I guess we will see what happens after I give birth. Probably another meltdown. Nothing if you keep that abuser away from the both of you, which beg you to do so. Same goes for the parents based on previous posts. To quote a previous reply from the last update, don't pet the dog that bit you. Please, you and your daughter deserve better. With people like your sister-in-law, the only way to win is to not play their game. Exiting the call was absolutely the way to go. Because you are having a girl, her behavior will only get worse. You do whatever is necessary to protect yourself and your child from their mistreatment. You don't deserve it, and neither does your child. Another month later, another update. I've posted on here a few times before. I apologize for this rant, but I just need to get it off my chest. I wish I could say that things have calmed down since my last post. Unfortunately, my sister-in-law's drama just seems to progressively get worse. So, my sister-in-law found out that I'm expecting a girl about 2 weeks ago. She found a gender by logging into my Amazon account without my permission and looked through my private lists. I had given my brother the login information for my Prime account so that he could watch a show he wanted to see. I had not expected her to log into the main account and view my private wish lists/past orders. I was extremely hurt and devastated that she went this far. She took another special moment for me because she went ahead and told the rest of my family the gender. She seems proud of herself for doing this and thinks she's justified because I was keeping secrets. She actually thinks that this is a funny story and blames pregnancy brain for any of her poor behavior. I finally snapped and told her what she did was appalling and deeply troubling. I told her that she has ruined every major moment in my pregnancy and that I cannot believe that she's proud of it. I told her she should be ashamed of herself and that I am embarrassed for her. I told her that at this point, I won't be allowing my daughter calling her aunt because she doesn't deserve it. She had a meltdown after this and accused me of trying to get her to miscarry. She says this kind of thing a lot. My brother and other family members tried to jump in to defend her, but I made it clear that I will remove them from my life as well if they continue to defend her. They have since shut their mouths and begun to agree with me. My sister-in-law gave me a half-hearted apology and said that we need to make up for the sake of the kids. I do want to be a part of my new baby nephew's life, so I do feel a bit stuck in this situation. I agreed to just let it go and try to move on, but I made it clear to her and everyone else that they are on a very thin ice. Since everyone now knows that I'm having a girl, I have refused to tell anyone the name that I intend to give my daughter. I want to at least keep that part for me to announce when I have my child. I haven't even really written it down because I fear someone will find out. My sister-in-law has asked me many times, but I just tell her that I haven't decided yet. But this last week, she started sending me girls' names that she's calling dibs on. I reminded her that she is having a boy, but she seems to be in denial about that fact. She likes to say that we won't really know the genders for certain until the babies are born. Most of the names are ones I have no interest in, as we have very different styles. She sends me about 4 to 5 names off her list each day. Now, I generally just ignore her, but yesterday she sent the name that I will be naming my daughter. The name is my late great-grandmother's name, and I have wanted to use the name since I was a teenager. I won't be changing my mind about naming my daughter this name. I will be announcing it once she is born. I don't care if this starts a war, as this is the hill that I am willing to die on. I know this is just going to cause an issue when I share her name, but at least I have time to prepare for her meltdown this time. I want to be part of my brother and nephew's lives, but I'm starting to see that it's just not worth it. Now for some comments before the final update. She is sending you lists of names she called dibs on every day? OMG, I'm glad your family is at least coming around somewhat. Yes, every single day. I would be sharing her posts and telling people how psycho she is being towards you. Save her posts for proof. She's a horrible woman. I would block her number for a long time and tell your brother that you don't want to hear from her or about her. and it's up to him to keep the relationship between you and nephews. I'm not sure what you're planning to do for a baby shower. If you are having one, even on Zoom, I wouldn't invite her. She's mentally unhinged. Change any passwords you gave your brother. She can pay for any shows he wants. Stay strong and don't let them rug sweep her actions. Yes, I already changed my password and will never be sharing it again. Sadly, the damage is already done. Now for the final update 2 months later. My little girl is finally here and doing very well. She's so beautiful. It is more amazing than anything that I could have ever imagined. She's a handful already, but I'm loving every second of it. You will all be happy to know that I did not allow my sister-in-law to bully me into picking another name. My daughter is named after my great-grandmother, and it fits her perfectly. I announced my daughter's birth and her name in a message to my family while I was at the hospital. My sister-in-law wasn't happy about my name choice, and she was even angrier when she heard the nickname I chose for my daughter. It is a shortened version of her name that was also listed on sister-in-law's dibs list. She posted on social media about my daughter's birth, and in the announcement, she referred to my baby by a different name. She says that it's her own special nickname for my daughter. Think something like if her name was Grace, she decided to nickname her something like Jilly. It's very weird and doesn't even resemble my child's name at all. I told her immediately to stop and to call my daughter by her proper name or the nickname that I chose. I knew she was only doing it to bother me, and that getting upset would just encourage her more. She stopped for a short time, but never removed her social media post. I had my family over to meet the baby a week after I came home from the hospital, and that's when sister-in-law started up with her games again. She purchased a bear for my daughter with Jilly embroidered across it. After opening that stupid bear, my family members laughed and told me to stop being so controlling. They told me to get over it, and that sister-in-law's nickname is cute. They too started to use the Jilly name. I felt like I couldn't even name my own baby, and they thought I should just be okay with it. I realized then that none of them were ever going to change how they treat me. I saw that what I was allowing to happen was just as bad as what they were doing. I was allowing myself to be belittled, hurt, and used time and time again. The family members who did nothing are just as bad in my opinion, because they've never even tried to defend me. I have put up with a lot from my family in the past. I have had to get over so many past issue and pain because I pushed it past in the name of family. Now this was all happening again, but this time it was in front of my daughter. What if they started treating my daughter the same way when she is older? So I threw the bear in the garbage in front of them and told them all to leave my house. They are all just as bad as sister-in-law in my opinion. I couldn't bring myself to yell or scream, but I stood firm. I removed my daughter from my mother's arms and showed them all the door. There was a lot of name-calling, but I stood my ground. I'm done. I haven't spoken to them since, and they haven't even tried to contact me. I intend to write a letter or something to them to say everything I feel. I feel like I need that closure, but I intend to go no contact with all of them from now on. I have spoken to my boss, and there's an opportunity for me to move out east to work in a new branch of the company. I intend to accept the new role and move during my maternity leave. My plans are not final yet, but I believe that a fresh start in a new place could be just the thing I need. I need to do what is best for myself and my daughter. Regardless of family or anything, I'm extremely happy right now. My daughter is the greatest little baby imaginable. I am so overjoyed to be her mother. Thank you to everyone for all the help and support I received on here. I'm extremely grateful for all the advice and kindness that I received, but I hope that I never have the need to post on here in the future. Thank you everyone, and I wish you all the best.